Air. It's now on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
The Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. He's going down the right sideline. He's on right side. Today's show is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods, Papa John's, the Baltimore area Toyota dealers, and Best Buy.
Hi, and welcome to the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Jerry Bembry, sports writer with the Sun. With the high school football regular season coming to a close, we are coming off of one of the most competitive weekends of 1998. We start today's show with the football battle of the MIAA. At 9-0, top-ranked Gilman had already clinched the A Conference title and was looking yesterday to become the first 10-0 team in school history. To do that, Gilman first had to get past undefeated McDonough, the B Conference champion. Let's take a look at the action.
It was simply a dog day for 7th-ranked McDonough as they were on the road against top-ranked Gilman. The Greyhounds looking to go 10-0 on the season. By the way, this was the 83rd meeting between the two schools, and this day simply belonged to Gilman. Chisholm Opara gets it off on the right foot for the Hounds here with a nice run up the middle. And then after he's brought down, check out the reaction from Mr. Opara. And you knew this day would belong to Gilman. That set the table for the field goal try. Andrew Ferrone hits a little chip shot, putting the Greyhounds out in front 3-0. Then they poured it on. Senior quarterback Ryan Boyle on the nice bootleg. Drops back to pass, lays it up nicely for Damian Davis. The all-purpose running back gave Gilman a 10-zip lead. If it's not Davis, then it's Opara beating you on the ground. Off the counter play, rumbles up the middle for 4 yards. Just like that, it was a blowout at 17-0. And the Gilman faithful getting ready for the homecoming dance later that night. Here's Ferrone again. This guy's the real deal. A 45-yarder there. He had another one right before the half, so it was 23-zip Gilman at the recess. And the McDonough sidelines had more questions than answers on this day. But the Eagles did get on the board here. Anthony Esposito taking it in the end zone. It had another score late in the game, but it didn't much matter. Number 1 Gilman rolls over 7th-ranked McDonough 23-14. The Hounds win this battle between two MIA division champs.
This country needs a lot of leaders. And I hope all of you remember this day, be leaders, be great people. And Gilman, again, congratulations on a great year.
Gilman Stadium played host to the 110th annual matchup between the Engineers of Poly and the City Knights. Knights quarterback Jawan Yancey wasted no time. His second play from scrimmage, a 32-yard heave to wide receiver Brandon Watson. Gets by the defense, then scampers 35 yards for the first score of the day. Now, the missed extra point didn't seem important at the time, but City's fans certainly had something to cheer about it. They went into the half, leading it 6-0. The third quarter was also City's domain as Kevin Johnson blasted his way up the middle for a 30-yard gain deep into Poly territory. And that sets up this 5-yard bullet here to Brian Johnson. Soon-to-be Penn State Nittany Lion gave City a 12-0 lead. But the game took a turn right here. The Knights roughed the Poly punter, and that would give the Engineers a first down and really newfound life. They convert. Tim Frazier goes in from 1 on the quarterback keeper. Poly also missed the extra point, but they were right back in it at 12-6. And the sun seemed to be shining on Poly at this point. They get the ball back, and Frazier hits Eddie Henry. Henry says the first down wasn't good enough for me. He cuts it outside down the sidelines for 50 yards, and the score. We're all tied up at 12 with 35 seconds left. Poly would add the extra point right here for the game winner. As the Engineers upset City 13-12, Poly is now in the Class 2A playoffs, while City's playoff hopes are all but over with this loss. The coveted Baltimore City volleyball prize was up for grabs this past week as the Doves from Western were looking to place it in their trophy case for the 7th time since 1990. That's the last year the Engineers from Poly had ownership of it. Despite winning 17 points on aces, Poly just couldn't overcome the well-balanced attack by Western. Their strong inside-out game and their vicious attacks on the ball proved to be the difference. Senior middler Sheila Gaskins also made a difference with pinpoint serving and outstanding play around the net. Now, strong setups from both the front and back courts helped Gaskins rack up 13 kills on the day. just one short of the entire Poly team. Now, the Engineers did show hard as they served up a win in game number 3, led by Isoki Leon, who finished with 8 kills. But it just wasn't enough on this day as Western capitalized on key Poly miscues to cruise to victory for their 3rd straight Baltimore City title. Sheila says, let's put it back in our trophy case once again.
When we come back, a spot in the state playoffs is up for grabs in the Harford County football title game. Bel Air CM Wright is the Dick's Sporting Goods big game of the week, and it's next on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. Welcome back. In a weekend of big games, there was none bigger than the one played at CM Wright on Friday night. The Mustangs entered the game with just 1 loss and a number 15 ranking. But to win the Harford County title, CM Wright had to get past undefeated Bel Air. With a state playoff berth at stake, CM Wright Bel Air is the Dick's Sporting Goods big game of the week. Before we go out to Brian Sinkoff at the game, let's look at this week's Classroom Stars. First, from Bel Air, we salute senior running back Kyle George, who's earned a 3.4 grade point average. And Kirk Morovic, a senior wide receiver from CM Wright, who sports a 3.9 GPA. Now it's CM Wright and Bel Air, the Dick's Sporting Goods big game of the week.
It was a battle of Bel Air on Friday night as the number 4 and undefeated Bel Air Bobcats were on the road against once-beaten CM Wright. And the game lived up to all the hype. The Mustangs found their backs against the wall early on, though. Bel Air's Adam Rafalski has the Bobcats moving on the first drive of the game. He goes for the end zone, but Jonathan Lapito says, not in my house, as he comes up with a one-handed interception, ending Bel Air's chances for a score. CM Wright would then capitalize as they moved 80 yards on their first drive. Grant Burrow with a great play fake. Then he finds Sean Banter wide open in the end zone. And just like that, the Mustangs are on the board. They missed the extra point, so it was 6-0 CM Wright. But Bel Air didn't go away that quietly, and it's their star quarterback getting it done. Adam Rafalski makes up for his earlier mistake with this beauty. Rafalski rolls out near side, and Chris Reynolds hauls it in perfectly on a nicely thrown ball. That was pretty indeed, and the Bobcats took a 7-6 lead after the first quarter. Now, this one actually looked as though it would get out of hand as Bel Air poured it on in the second. On 4th and 2, Jimmy Brown takes the handoff, and he finds plenty of daylight. 29 yards worth of open space, and he's in for the score. 14-6 Bobcats. Now, they would add a touchdown a little later on a quick sneak from Rafalski, so it was 21-6, and it looked like Bel Air would win this thing in a rout. But not so fast as CM Wright got some momentum right here before the half. Jonathan Lapito takes the screen pass, then does the rest. Watch this, kids. Breaks some tackles, follows his blocks, and then uses speed. That's a football. 54 yards later, it's a touchdown, and that brought the Mustangs back into the game. They trailed at 21-14 at the half. CM Wright poured it on in the second half on 4th and goal at the 4-yard line. The Mustangs would convert. Burrow going far side from Bruce Jennings. He comes up with it in between 2 defenders. They went for the 2-point conversion, and they missed, so Bel Air still lead 21-20 after 3 quarters. The same scenario played out in the 4th quarter, all CM Wright. With 9 minutes to go, they would get the game winner. Burrow has all day to throw this thing. He rolls right and finds a wide-open Hardy McSpadden. It wouldn't be a CM Wright game without a TD from Hardy, and that proved to be the game winner as the Mustangs led a late score for good measure, and they go on to win it 33-21 over Bel Air. CM Wright improves to 9-1 on the year, and they capture the Harford County title.
So CM right now, the kings of Bel Air, at least for this year. It's their 5th straight win over the Bobcats, and more importantly, it puts them in the Class 3A playoffs.
Oh, it means a whole lot. I mean, we haven't gone to playoffs in a while, but this team is great. We got a lot of heart. Oh, it's a great game, great game.
It's safe to say that Lil Shelton is the area's most dominant field hockey coach. Over the last 21 years at Severna Park, Shelton has led her team to 20 Anne Arundel County championships. Severna Park recently won its 13th straight county title, and the team's successes earned Shelton the honor as the Toyota Coach of the Week.
The secret to my success has been the fact that I can select intelligent athletes that bring something to the program year after year, and I think maybe that's my talent, is to be able to select the right kind of girls.
And Lillian Shelton's unprecedented talent for selecting quality athletes who are quality people has kept her on top of her game the past 2 decades. And what ingredients does she find in these young ladies?
High energy, enthusiasm, dedication, determination, high academic skills, intelligence. They bring all of this to the program, and they make it easy for me to coach. They make it easy for us to win. They make it easy for them to have success.
And they make it easy for Lil to smile when she learns how her program has made an impact on their lives.
I get letters from girls that have graduated, and they say this is the best memories of high school, that they will never, ever forget being on the field hockey team. And maybe they don't remember their win-loss record years and years from now, but the fact that they have just had great togetherness, and they've made great friends, and they don't lose those friends over the years. They come back to Severna Park, and they get together still. To me, that's success.
Congratulations, Lil Shelton. Now here's a look at some of the area's best student athletes. When we return, we'll showcase this week's Toyota Athletes of the Week.
Did you know 50% of all youth happen between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m.? So play sports.
Toyota and the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show will recognize outstanding male and female athletes of the week. This week's winners are Jenny Bisco, a junior midfielder on the John Curl soccer team. Jenny recently had 2 game-winning goals and helped her team to the best record in the Catholic League. And Delaney cross-country runner Greg Benson. Greg recently won his 3rd straight Baltimore County cross-country championship. We congratulate Jenny and Greg, the Toyota Athletes of the Week.
To win my position is my main goal, for the team to play well. If I win my position, I feel like I can be an impact no matter what.
And John Carroll Jr., Jenny Bisco, or Bisquick as she is affectionately known, has had a tremendous impact on the #1 Patriots. This second-team All-Metro standout, who started soccer when she was barely old enough to run, developed her skill playing on boys' teams until she was 13.
I've been playing soccer since I was 4, and I love it. Every game is just, I know, I love it more and more every game. It's great.
And it's even greater when Jenny wins.
Winning after games, like during the game, and I push myself as much as I can just to win.
And when Jenny pushes the right button, she's hard to stop.
When something needs to be done, they all look to Jenny to do it. And I guess her leadership is that she accepts that responsibility. And more importantly, she does it. I mean, whether it's a tie game, whether we need a goal in overtime, whatever the situation is, anyone that's followed this team will see Jenny Bisco's name in the scoring or Jenny Bisco making the defender. And she just does whatever it takes to be successful.
And for the success Jenny helped bring to the nationally ranked Patriots last week, we honor her as our Toyota Female Athlete of the Week.
During practice, I try to stay focused on the interval that we're doing or the distance run that we're doing. But while we're stretching, just crack a joke here and there. It's just to keep us loosened up.
Delaney senior Greg Benson stayed loose with his impressive 43-second win over Towson High with a time of 60 minutes, 46 seconds. An all-city county runner and 2-from-state runoff in cross-country, Vincent feels he's hitting his stride.
Last year I had trouble peaking in the right place, and this year it's coming along real nicely. I'm running a nice race at counties and getting ready for regionals and states.
Greg's greatest quality is his consistency. Day in and day out, I know that he's going to do well for us, especially on meet day. I know Greg's going to come through and give us a great performance. So I really don't have too many butterflies in my stomach when it comes to Greg on meet day.
And these butterflies were easily erased as Greg helped the Lions end Perry Hall's 12-year streak of county titles, all part of a great team effort.
What I like about cross country is that we have a big team, and that everybody runs the same distance, and that everybody contributes the same.
And for Greg's contributions last week, we honor him as our Toyota Male Athlete of the Week.
Now let's check out this week's best highlights, including the Best Buy Play of the Week and the Best Buy Best Cheer.
We started our highlight reel with some defense from the CM Wright Bel Air team. Bel Air's Adam Rafalski going deep for his receiver, but CM Wright's Derek Archie would have none of that as he picks it off in the end zone. Then he would make like a running back and dodge several tackles. Then it's over to Raven Stadium for some City Poly action. Poly quarterback Tim Fraser in trouble from the get, but he has the presence of mind to avoid the sack and dump it off to his running back. That's Charles Haywood, who turns it into a big gain of 35 yards on what seemed like a sure loss of yardage. Back over to the CM Wright Bel Air game for more defensive shenanigans. Mustang quarterback Grant Burrow fires it over for Jonathan Lapito, but he can't hang on to it, and it's gift-wrapped interception for Eric Stevenson. And our Best Buy Outstanding Play of the Week comes courtesy of the Poly special teams. They try a little tomfoolery here. Charles Haywood fields the kick. He sprints toward the sidelines, but wait a minute, it's the reverse. Now Eddie Henry has it in open field. Eddie's got some speed and some moves. He shows us both right here. Our Best Buy Outstanding Play of the Week. This week's Best Buy Best Cheer comes courtesy of the Bobcat from Bel Air. It's all yours, ladies. Congratulations to the cheerleaders from Bel Air for our Best Buy Best Cheer of the Week.
When we come back, we'll meet this week's Papa John's. Deborah Green is this week's Papa John's featured student athlete.
Started out running in summertime. Actually, I've only been running, this will be my 6th month. I've been running for 6 months now. So I've really been blessed.
Blessed is one way freshman runner Debbie Green sees her startling success. Determined is another.
I think I have great potential. I feel great about it because that was my goal to be city champ. That was my goal. I trained for it. And that's what I really wanted to do. And now I know I can do anything if I put my mind to it.
When Debbie's mind is not on the clock or her strategy before a big race, it's focused on her studies at Northern High School. She's an A student looking to make a career in medicine. And at the age of 14, she already has her life on the right track.
I think I'm kind of quiet in the class. I keep to myself, do my work. That's pretty much me. I'm very quiet. I don't play around the track. I take it to the heart. I'm dedicated.
And how do Debbie's teammates view her?
I guess I'm like a rabbit to them. I would say that. They see me, I'm so young, so I'm like an inexperienced runner, a little bit probably to them, but I try to learn from them. Like if they make mistakes, I'll make sure that I don't do that. So I guess we all learn from each other.
Typically, your upperclassmen who are juniors and seniors are physically stronger than the average 14-year-old freshman straight out of middle school. For the average girl, it would be surprising going against more mature runners who have been in the battlefields before in tough races. For somebody like Deborah who works as hard as she has, I'm not really that surprised.
Part of it, I think, is natural talent because when I was littler, I would run on my own. And I started training on the weekends with my sister also because she went here and she trained for the school, and I ran summer track too, so I think that was part of it. And most of it just natural talent. Well, that's what my father just made.
Some say it's a natural ability. Others say it's a strong determination. Either way, it's Deborah's drive to go that extra mile for her to become a true cross-country champion.
I think everybody is a winner. In track, baseball, whatever sport that you play, I think you're a winner. And if you believe in yourself, you can do anything. I know you've heard that thousands of times, but believe me, it is true. You have to have the confidence in yourself that you can do anything in the world, and it's possible, as long as you keep on going.
Thanks, Lena. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for watching the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. We'll be back again next Sunday. Until then, keep up with the Sun's extensive coverage of high school sports, including coverage on Monday of today's AIS Hockey Tournament Championship. I'm Jerry Bembry, sports writer with the Sun. Until next Sunday, have a great school week ahead. The Toyota Prep Athlete Awards are courtesy of Larry Beck, the Trophy King.